Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody, to this special live show where today we are going to look at how to identify our natural gifts and how to optimize them. And we are asking the question, what makes you special? Because we often hear that the graveyard is the richest place. Why? Because many people carry their talents to the grave and they don't even identify their talents. They don't use their talents. And so today we are going to find out what makes you special. How do you identify your natural gifts, your talents, and how can you optimize them? In short, how can you monetize your talents? So I thank you all for coming. Thank you, Lasu's Journey, Marlene, Nkechi. Thank you all for coming. Today we are going to have an interesting show. We are going to just see how people can find their talents and do their best and do them. And so I'm so grateful for you all who came at a short notice. I was trying to practice what I learned yesterday, and I said, why don't I just go on a live on my own? Because yesterday I had my coach with me. Today I'm going solo. And so I'm here live now. If you have any questions, you can ask them. If you have any contributions, if you want to come up the screen, I can send you the invite and then you come up and we talk about it. But I thought that this topic was really, thank you so much, Lasius, and thank you all for really supporting and encouraging me. I'm so grateful. I don't take it for granted. So I thought about this topic today. How can people identify their gifts? Because most often we always think that we don't have anything to offer. And we think that we have there is some special thing that makes us really, or that we need to have something special to have something to offer. Meanwhile, you are just special the way you are, and everybody is gifted in something. No matter how small, you just have to identify what you're gifted at, and then you see how you can optimize it, how you can hone it for it to become a trade. Back home in Africa, most of the time people do farming, and we always think that farming is suffering. But when I came here to Canada, or when I started traveling to the West, I discovered that farmers were the richest people. And so everything that you are gifted at, you can make money from it. You just need to learn how, find out what you're gifted at, and then find help, find a coach, find a mentor, find somebody to guide you, and then do what, and to show you how to optimize what you're doing and how to make money from it. Like they say, we all sleep on a gold mine without knowing. And so we have to be conscious of everything we are doing now, because we live in a world where every little thing you optimize can take you somewhere, and every little gift can really be beneficial if you know how to use it. And like for those of us who read the Bible, remember the gifts. Are you going to be one of those whose gifts will be taken from you and given to people who have plenty? I don't know. But you have to know that you are just enough the way you are. And what makes you unique makes you beautiful. And people are not the same. Everybody have their own. Yes, last journey, yes. Farming is not the easiest thing, especially when we have to do it manually. But if it is mechanized farming, I think it's really It's not bad. I think it's a good thing to be a farmer. And last week you have a beautiful garden, and I know that you are really eating some real good food just because you decided to grow your own food, to grow your own vegetables. And so it's you just identify what you're good at and do it. The good thing is you can learn how to improve upon your gift. Or you can even identify something that you like doing and learn how to do it. And so today, what is your gift? Because sometimes we have to really take time to think about our lives. What is my gift? How can I use it to serve people? Because you are sleeping on your gift. Meanwhile, the people you are called to serve are dying because you have not said yes to your gift, and you have not said yes to the call, and you have not said yes to service. And so, what is your gift? Ask yourself. Take your time, sit in some place. What is my gift? How can I use it to help people? My gift is to motivate people. I can help you to unlock your talents. I have a way of, when I talk with you, I can give you directions on how to bring out, or on how you can see value in the thing that you can do. Like most people will say, oh, I only know how to cook. I only know how to clean the house. I can only I can only be a caregiver. But every little thing that we do is important in the whole. If the person who doesn't clean the house, the person who has to clean the house, if they don't clean it, the house will not be clean. And can you imagine you in an unclean house? Like people will say, can people be healthy in a dirty environment? And so those people who are cleaning, they are doing a marvelous job to help people to stay healthy and to stay and to work, have a decent work environment. Like Nkechi is saying, you are a stay-home mom. And that's one of the things that people always misunderstand. People think that women, especially, are just stay-home moms. Guys, imagine that a woman is at home. She is cooking. She is taking care of the children. She is taking care of the house. She is cleaning the house. She also takes care of preparing children to go to school and all of that. Just imagine for once that you had to pay somebody to clean your house, pay somebody to cook for you, pay somebody for all the activities that women are doing in their homes. Just imagine that if you had to pay people for that, how much will you pay? And so this concept of women are just stay-at-home moms, I really celebrate you, moms, because you do a lot of work, and they are the first to get up from bed. They are the last to go to sleep. So everything that you're doing has value. People just have to give value to whatever people are doing, because sometimes I know that the society where we come from, people think that, oh no, she's just a total consumption, she just stays at home, she's not doing anything. Meanwhile, she is taking care of the well-being of everybody. Can you imagine all the work that women do, and then they go to bed so tired, but they have to get up the following morning and continue the cycle? And what do they get? They are just stay-at-home moms. And then you have some very ungrateful companions or partners or husbands who just say, I'm the only one who makes money in this house. Hello, I do the cooking, I do the cleaning, I take care of the children, I prepare this house so that it will be comfortable for you to go and work in peace and serenity. So it is time that we value everything that everybody is doing, because they add value to the chain. And we can't just sit and think that people are at home, women are at home just cooking. No, they are doing a lot of work. And that is why, to you, my sisters who are at stay-at-home moms, find a way of monetizing your talents. You can be a mom and at the same time you know how to cook. Look at what happened during the pandemic. Many people did not have where to go and eat because they were used to eating in restaurants and they didn't know how to cook. All the people who put their YouTube channels on cooking recipes, they had a lot of following. Why? Because people are anxious to learn how to do things when they are pushed on the wall, when they don't have a choice. All the restaurants were locked. We were on lockdown. People had no choice except to cook their own food. They didn't know how to cook. What happened? They went online to Google or to YouTube. How do I cook? How do I cook this? How do I cook that? So even if you are gifted at cooking, cook very well, find a coach to help you how to monetize your cooking. If you are only doing hair, hello, how much does it cost to do makeup? Find a way to monetize your talent. Look at the people who are singing, who just know how to sing. Find a way to monetize your talents. And because that is one of the challenges that we have, and especially us women, because I'm talking about women because the men is like automatically from medieval society, men were the breadwinners. But things have really changed now. Everybody can win bread for the family. And so, how do we use the things that we are gifted at and make money instead of just working for people or working for some ungrateful husbands, excuse me, or for some ungrateful husbands? Find a way to monetize your talents. Anything that you do, if you find a way to do it professionally, you are going to have you are going to have a financial reward, or at least you are going to optimize your value. Hi, Melissa, thank you so much. And I'm really just trying to start live streaming. I think that it is fun. I'm liking it. And I thank you all for coming to support me. Yes, men think that it's easy to fulfill the roles in the house. Try one day and tell and leave your husband with the children at home and go somewhere. He will wait for you at the door before you come in. He will be waiting at the door. And so we have to find a way, like they say, people will value the way you present yourself. Find a way to monetize your talents and bring more value to you. Hi, Melissa. I hope you are doing fine with the weather conditions out there in Florida. I know that as you are in the live stream, it means you are doing fine. I hope you and your family are well. And all of you out there who are in the affected areas, I really send you my prayers and all my love and support. And so we were coming back. How do we monetize our talents? We can find coaches, we can find services that help us. Oh, okay. Yes, Marlene. I hope you are also doing fine. I didn't forget that you are in Florida. Just that since I see you, I thought that you will be fine. And I'm glad, I'm really happy that you all are fine and that the 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 weather conditions don't get worse. And so we are saying, how do you identify your talents? Just find the thing that you do with the most ease. Anything that you're good at doing, anything for that matter, you can always find a way to make it professional and then you monetize it. And we have to learn how to value our talents. Do not be among those who will go to their graves with their talents. And do not be among those whose one talent will be taken and given to the person who has 10 talents. So it is really important to identify your talents. If you cannot identify it by yourself, you have help, you have communities, you have friends, you can find a coach. So all the things that we are saying is that it is possible. We just have to find a way of optimizing it and growing through it. I thank you all for the thumbs up and for all your support. Yes, my ex told me I don't do anything but stay home. I went on strike and had to teach him a lesson. He cried and said, I have to clean clothes, groceries, meals, and bills are not paid. That is it. Sometimes put them to test it. Because let's say we always say the grass is greener in the horizon, in the other side. You always think that somebody's job is always more easy than yours, until when you wear the shoe, that is when you know where it pinches. And so it is not easy, but nothing is easy. Just that we have to make it intentional and make it for ourselves. Nobody is going to come and save us. We have to be willing to save ourselves, and then we can find help. So I have the link in the chat. Anybody who wants to come up and share their ideas, you are all welcome. So we're saying that we all have gifts, and we are unique, and we all have the things that make us stand out. It is true that we are born into, like, our personality is shaped by the society where we are born in, the family where we are born, the environment where we grow. But we can change all those things. We can learn new things, we can grow, and we can harness our skills. The good thing now, look at what internet is doing. It is a world wide web. And so wherever you are, you can learn to do anything. Just learn to do anything and optimize your time, make good use of your time. Learn to do something, add value to your life. And when you even find something to do, you don't feel bored, and you really are not like just at home doing the same routine every day. You are excited because you have new things that you're doing, and there is more value coming in. I don't want to talk about more money, but also there is more money coming in. So find help. There are associations out there, there are NGOs, there are people, you have friends. Find support communities. They can help. They will always be willing to help. Don't stay alone, and don't stay like defeated because you think that you are not valuable. We are all valuable. And so please find the thing that you like doing. Find help to make you do it better, and find a way to monetize it. Find a way to bring value to it. Even if you make good clothes, you just decide to make good clothes for your children and for your family. In that way, you save some money that you use to go do shopping and stuff. And that's how you really help yourself, you help your family, and then you help your community. Because when one or two other women will see that you are doing something, and that you can grow, and that you can sell your talent, and that you can sell whatever you want, they will start imitating. And the more people are trying to harness their gifts, a better world we will have. And so don't sit on your own. Don't sit on your own. There is help out there. You cannot even figure it out alone because you need people to help you and to guide you along the way. There's always help, and people are always willing to help. People are always willing to help when you want to help yourself. Nobody is going to come and force you to do it. But if you show your willingness, people are there to help you. I am not married too, but when I was, it was not easy. But you learn every day and you make your life better. You learn every day and you make your life better. I was married to, I got tired of the disrespect. You have to demand respect. That's why I left. Girl, welcome to the club. I left twice and I don't regret it because sometimes you either you leave or you leave your head there and it is not funny. It's your family that is going to lose out, eh? Because as you walk out, the guy is going to have another wife if only the other woman is not ready before you leave. So sometimes I tell women, if you think that you can't stay there, and when you see those red flags, believe them. They will not change. 1% will change, 99% will not change. Leave. Even though people would say when you have children, it's difficult. I know it's difficult. I could live easily because I did not have children, so I just had to take my bag. It's not difficult. It's not easy when you have children. But sometimes ask yourself, is my staying there going to harm the children or is it going to help the children? Because sometimes you think that you're doing it for the good of the children when you are really still harming them and you are bringing more pain than you are bringing a solution. So even if you're a woman with children and you're faced with domestic violence or those kind of complicated situations, please put it on a scale and think about the consequences. Is it better for me to leave? Is it better for me and my children to leave? Or is it better for us to stay? Because sometimes women have stayed because of their children and have lost their lives. And what happens when you lose your life? Your children will still suffer anyways. And some have even gone to the extent to kill the wife and the children. So wherever you are, I know that divorce is not the best of solutions when children are concerned because you have to think about the welfare of the children, but you have to weigh the situation. You have to weigh the situation and see, is it really convenient? Is it safe for everybody? Is this the best step to take for everybody? And then you do the right thing. It's complicated, it is difficult, especially because most of those times the women don't have the financial independence to go on their own, and it makes things more complicated. But there is help. You can find communities, you can find NGOs. If you don't want to go to them, you can find a church, and you can go to government agencies, and you will have the help that you need.
Hey, Mary.
Hey, Marlene, thank you for coming up. And I really appreciate your support every time.
Oh,
You've
no
always been there.
problem.
So, what is your take on the topic today? How to find your talents and how to optimize it?
Well, I can't speak for anybody else because everybody is at a different place in their life. It depends on um, where you are in your life, your age, your financial situation. Do you have support? Do you not have support? All of that goes into how you're going to make your moves. But for me, Um, it was, I think mine started like after I had already got married. And sometimes you go into a marriage wanting certain things, and then when you actually open up your eyes and see this is not right for me. And I got to that place in my life, and it's not a easy place to be at, because you don't stop loving the person. I don't stop loving him, but if somebody is not going to be fulfilling you and helping you to grow, I said it doesn't matter if you stay in a relationship, if you're not growing, if they're not supporting you, if they're not loving you, if all you're doing is fighting and arguing and there's no peace, there's no personal growth, I feel like that stunts you, you know, and that person is not willing to change. And for me, that was just not, I was like, that's just not good enough. So I had to make a decision, not right away. It took me a while, about a year and a half, and I had to save up some money. And I came and I moved back to Florida because at the time I was married and I was living in Canada, and I wasn't working, unemployed. So I started to make a plan about how I was going to do it. Start saving 15, 20, $30 every time, when I would get money for the bills, until it accumulated enough money for me to be able to buy a one-way plane ticket home. And I knew once I landed back in Florida, I knew my family would rally around me and support me and help me. So that's what they did. I didn't tell them everything, but I just said I'm here to stay. And I lived on the couch for a little while with my sister, uh, in her house, and until I could find a job, which was like maybe about 4 months later. And but it was difficult because it's like they want you to come back home, and then they're saying they'll change. You know how they make all those promises. I promise if you come home, I'm going to change and I'm going to do right. But it's just a sob story, just to get you to come back home. And because I tried it for years, back and forth, and I came to the point where I realized that my peace of mind and my happiness meant more than just how things look and appear to other people. Because as women, we want people to think, oh, I'm married, so it's like the cure all for your happiness. And it's not. Because what does it matter if you're married if you're miserable? And for me, that's the conclusion I got to. I was like, I want to be married. I love him. I'm always going to love him, but we're just not right for each other. So I got to that conclusion, and I was like, so it's time for me to make my own life. And after maybe about 7, 8 months, I sent him papers for divorce, because I had to make sure, is this what I really wanted? So it's not easy for as a woman to stand up, because you have people who come in your ears. Like I had family members, oh no, you're married, you can't do that, and they want to tell you how it's supposed to be. But as a woman, you have to know what you want. You have to know how happy are you. It's not just about appearing to the eyes of other people. Just because you're married, like you're supposed to have a happy life as a woman. And there's more to being a woman than just, being somebody's wife. You know, I personally believe that if you don't have somebody who's going to be supportive of your dreams, and as women, sometimes I feel that when you're married, you're so busy pouring all of your time, energy, effort, everything into making your husband happy and pleasing him, that you get lost in the shuffle after, what was it, 6, 7 years of marriage. And I was in the same place I was when I first got married. I never got to do anything for myself, what I liked, what I wanted to do, have some fun, think about myself. Everything was wrapped up in what he wanted, and I got tired and sick of that. So I feel like right now I'm at a place where I I'm doing the things that I like I find myself smiling now and experiencing peace. And and for me, I can't speak for anybody else but myself. I feel like the most important thing for me is to wake up and have peace. I got tired of every, everything that I did and said was never enough. Like if I give 50%, why didn't you give 75%? And how come you didn't do this? And how come you don't do that? And it's just like I'm never enough for you. And I said I don't think as a woman we don't deserve that. You give so much in marriage. And I think a lot of times men don't understand how much a woman sacrifices, her time, you know, and a lot of times in marriage, they don't want you to have friends. And it's just like you're their only friend. It's just, to me, that's just very unhealthy. It's not good for you emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, everything. So I had to make a decision to live, and that was it wasn't an easy decision to just pack up a bag and get on a plane and just say, uh, see you later, or maybe not see you. He was like, are you coming back? I was like, I don't know. I don't think I will. So, um, well, the thing about that, Ian, is I didn't try to change him. When I got married, how he was when I got married, he changed. And people don't realize that sometimes that when you're dating somebody, the dating versus the marriage is not the same. Um, I just I can't explain that. When you're dating somebody, it's like everything is just about, making, being, you just, all you're thinking about, oh, I'm in love and I love him, I love him, I love him. And then when the reality hits, and then bills come, and problems, and people get sick in your family, and health problems, and and issues and problems with communication, when real life hits, that's when you really find out who the person that you're married to is. Because no matter what, they did to me, I never lashed out in anger. Even till this day, I've never said anything hurtful about my ex. But I feel that it shows really who you are as a person. Some people, they get nasty and bitter, and they want to say what you didn't do and all of those things. I don't agree with that. I just say that door was closed. You weren't right for me, and it's time for me to walk in peace and happiness. And I told him I want the best for you, and I hope you find what is better for you, what fulfills you. And I wish you peace and joy. But he doesn't wish that for me. I've never heard anything but mean and nasty things from him, talking about me as a woman. So it just shows who he is. And I just want to empower other women that, sometimes when you, uh, it's like sometimes when get married, you get married because you're in love with the idea of being married. That's the conclusion that I came to. Is all part of this book that I'm writing, but that's the conclusion that I came to. It's like after a while, the person that you're dating, and you do see some red flags, but you gloss over it because you think that's just the stress of the engagement. That's just this, and you make excuses, and put duct tape over gaping holes in somebody's personality. And I talk to other young women as mentors now and tell them, don't, like, something that is like not acceptable, wrong, a red flag, mistreatment, disrespect, don't gloss over that. you know we see things as women. A lot of times we see when something is not right. We see, and like, that's not good, that's not right, but we like, oh, it's okay, or maybe they'll change or something like that. But I will tell you, initially when I was engaged, he was so kind and sweet to me and would do anything for me and was always checking on me and calling me. And once I got married, all of that stopped. So I'm just speaking real talk, that it's not always that you're trying to change somebody. I saw who he was when I was dating him, and I loved him for the person that he was at that time. But then once we got married, it was like the mask fell off, and I saw like like he changed, like all the pressure of life changed him to be something that was not going to fulfill me. And yep. Well, I did all of that, Ian. We went to counseling for years, therapy, all of that stuff. But he was just feeding me the things that I wanted to hear. And sometimes you can't know what will happen to you until it happens to you. It's easy for somebody on the outside to say you should have done X, Y, and Z. But sometimes people aren't who they appear to be until you're already married to them, and then you find out and you're like, who is this? So and I'm like, oh no, this is not, this is not going to work. And you know, being honest, I called my mom, like when my mom was alive, and I said, Mommy, I was like, this is not this is not who, this is not who he appeared to be before. I was like, he's changed, he's different. He's lying to me. He misleads me. And my mom told me something that I'll never forget. She said, don't listen to what somebody else says. You already know what you want to do. And the most important thing is for you to be happy and fulfilled, and for you to have a good relationship with God. And if you can't find peace with God and with yourself, then it's time to do something else. And whenever you're ready, I'm here to support you. So I was blessed that, you know when the mask fell off of him, I was able to have people that I could run to. Um, and that was for me. That was my blessing. Because sometimes in marriage, um, husbands isolate their wives from their family, and they don't want them to talk to them and spend time with them. That wasn't in my case, but I know it happens to some women. They isolate them and they don't want to talk to them. So I'm grateful that I still had a relationship with my family, and that I had a place that I could run to until I could get back on my feet again. So that was a blessing for me, but it's not what some women, because some women that I talk to, especially those who are in domestic violence relationships or unhealthy, toxic relationships, they have done so many things to their family that their family they can't go to. They have no place to run, so they have nowhere to go but maybe a shelter. But to me, the most important thing is that you have peace. And for me, peace is my most important commodity besides my relationship with God. So I had to get that back and start feeling like myself again, because like one day I thought about it, I was like, Marlene, when's the last time you smiled? And I was like, whoa, it blew my mind. It was like years before I had a smile on my face. So that's that's just a little bit that's just a little bit of my story. I don't want to
I am
take over
so
your channel.
no, I am so grateful for your share. I didn't want to interrupt you because what you're sharing is so important. Because just talking about what you experience is a big blessing for so many people. It's a blessing for you and for so many people. Because sometimes it's so difficult to talk about these things. We don't, either we don't have the safe space to talk about them, or we think that people will laugh and mock at us or stigmatize us. And so that's why I just let you to talk, because it is going to help so many people. And there are so many golden nuggets. I can't even start counting them. But especially, everybody's situation is unique. And don't even think that you will listen to anybody. They say that in my village, they say when the day that the woman wants to leave an abusive marriage comes, nobody tells her. She just knows this is time I have to leave. For many women, even though there are some who don't even know when to leave, because society expects us to stay married. where I come from. And so people can bear all those things. But what you did was you had your family. People, most of the time, when women go and get married, they really forget their families. Not the man who really makes it, but the woman thinks, okay, now I have arrived, I have my husband and stuff, and they neglect their families. And men are so smart. When they know that you have no one to fall back on, they can do anything with you. So it is a unique situation. And we are not saying that people should divorce or should leave their husbands. No. We are saying if you find yourself that you are not happy where you are, and that the guy is not open, or even the lady, even for men too, if your wife is giving you trouble and they or your husband is giving you trouble and they don't have the open mind to learn and grow, then think, make an evaluation of the situation and see whether it is beneficial for you to remain there or to go. And sometimes we think that we can remain there to save our face. That is what we are saying. Don't do anything to save your face for the public, because it is you that is experiencing it. And so you know how much you can take. So sometimes it is not really very easy, like we said, because you start thinking, where will I start? And then you decide it's better for me to just remain with the devil I know. No, there is always an alternative. Ask for help. There are associations, there are NGOs, there are government agencies that will help you. There is help everywhere. It is not really an easy thing to just leave a relationship. But we are saying that wherever you are, whatever you're doing, not only in your relationships, think about the value it is bringing to you. Am I losing myself in doing what I'm doing? And then you decide. Everybody's situation is different. And you rightly said, dating and marriage are two different things. Most of the time, the people we date, it's all honeymoon. Marriage is living with somebody day to day. It is not the same thing. Like when you go visit somebody during the weekend or once a month. This is day to day. And so it takes two to tango, like they say. It takes two of you to make it work. Imagine that you even are in your family, even when you have identical twins, everybody is unique. Everybody have their own unique way they are made. And so you don't expect people to comply with the way you are or everything. But the thing that makes relationships work is everybody's willingness and openness to work for it, to make it work. So if a person is willing to learn and grow with you, why not? You stay and learn and grow together. But if it's that kind of person who will bring you down, who will always make you think that you are useless, you are worthless, and they don't give you value, think twice about it. We are talking about this just because many women, especially, I'm talking from the perspective of Africans, many women in Africa think they have to be married because society will give more value to them. And sometimes they have lost their lives. Those are the cases we are talking about. If it's a relationship where you're going to lose more than you're gaining, think twice about it. Hi, everyone who is coming in. I really appreciate you all coming. Anybody who wants to share their comments or anything you want to share, you can come up. We are talking today about how to identify your gifts, optimize them, and why not monetize them and add value to the gifts that you have been given, and not, like they say, the graveyard is the richest place because people carry unutilized gifts to the grave. So
Yes.
if
Yeah,
you have
Mary,
if you
can I
have
say
anything to
something?
contribute, fine. Marlene, I really thank you. That was a great share. And I really appreciate you being so open, because most often being open is a big, big issue.
Yeah, Mary, I just wanted to say that it's not easy to first. I feel like the first thing when you are not happy, you have to convince yourself of that. And I think as women, a lot of times we want to pretend because we don't want everybody else to think, oh, what are they going to think about me? Oh, now everybody's going to know we're not together. So I think personally, I had to learn to get over that part. Who cares what other people think and what other people are going to say? The most important thing is, what do you think about yourself? How are you doing emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually? And when you check into that part and say, I'm not okay, then now you have to say, now what are you going to do about it? I think that you have to get that power first. We have to learn as women, even as men, to empower ourselves and to check in with our own emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual health and say, am I okay? And if you're not okay, why am I not okay? And being honest and open to say, okay, I'm not happy. I don't like how my life is. Now, what am I going to do about it? See, that takes a lot of strength and power from within you, to be able to admit that to yourself. You have to admit to yourself, I'm not doing okay right now. And on top of all of that, I had other situations going on in my life personally. My dad was had cancer. He was dying from cancer. It was just too much, and I was like, I feel like the times where you need the most support, it's like everything starts coming on you. I don't know if that's happened to anybody else, but it's like when one thing happens, it's like a million things all happen, like the whole walls all crumble in on you at the same time. But I made a decision that I wasn't going to allow their lack of support to stop me from being the support that my dad needed. I was like, my dad needs me at this time. And I was like, this is a perfect opportunity for me to go and to love on my dad at the end of his life, because I believe that it's a circle. He took care of me, and now it's time for me to take care of him. And my husband couldn't understand that part. Like, he's like, you're married, let the people that are there take care of him. But that's not my belief system. So if he, every to each his or her own. But for me, that wasn't going to work, because for the rest of my life I would have to live with that he passed away and I was not there at the end of his life, and I couldn't live with myself. I feel like if I didn't go and be with my dad, I would, like, emotionally go crazy, mentally go crazy. So that was another reason that helped to seal the deal that it's time for me to walk away, and to that this is not where I need to be right now. So that's just a little bit of
That's
my story, but I'm doing okay now. I'm doing really great now. But just to give some encouragement to somebody else, that just because you're not at a good place right now, it does not mean that it can't change. But you have to make the steps in order for a change to happen in your life.
absolutely, absolutely. And like we say, it gets to a point, like they say, that's you say this the time is now. You found the opportunity, unfortunately, for your father's illness, to live and be by your father's side. Everybody have their own time when they know the time is now. And it is we cannot stop raising awareness. It is the way women have grown over the centuries that is making it difficult to really speak up and come up and even think about themselves. So it's taking forever, but a lot of progress is being made. We cannot stop raising awareness, sensitizing people, giving information, telling them that there is help everywhere. There is help out there, but you have to be willing because, like they say, you can take a horse to the stream, but you cannot force it to drink. So you have to be willing to help yourself, and then you ask for the help and you will get it. It's really not easy. There's nothing that is easy. All that we are saying is people have a lot of talents and then they go and stay without doing anything with it, thinking that you need some, like some university education, or you need to be from some a certain background to be able to do certain things. We live in a world today where information is worldwide. You can learn any new thing, you can learn anything. You can just decide that I want to change my life, and you find somebody to help you to change your life, or find the thing that you can do, optimize it, and make a better life of yourself. And we are saying, don't think that you have to remain in the box. There is even no box. It's just an imagination. Find a way to fly. Find a way to, like they say, don't aim for the sky when there's a whole galaxy out there. Because why? Use the sky as your springboard. You always have more and more coming on. But we have to create awareness. You're doing a good job helping a lot of women, raising awareness, and it's not something that we will stop today. We continue going. Now you see that things are getting better because people are really getting a lot of access to information. We are in the business of raising awareness and helping people to see their value, because most of the time some people need that you tell them that you are good at this, you can do it. And I'm telling my sisters in Africa, especially, because we don't optimize talent in Africa. Because of colonization, we were educated to think that the only good thing that you can do is to work in an office. And so many talented people are wasting their talents because people will not give them value because they are working the farm or they are doing carpentry. Meanwhile, they are such good designers. Just because, what will people say? I work in the farm, I'm a carpenter, I'm a builder or whatever. All those things, there's a way you can optimize them and make money from them and make a better life for yourself. You just need to find where you can find help. And like I said, there are NGOs, there are associations, we have government agencies that help you to build your talents. Find help. Don't die with a God given talent. Find help to even help you identify your talents, optimize them, and use them for your own growth, to increase your own value. And then we came to this topic about marriage and women because we were saying that most often husbands especially would say their wives are stay at home moms doing nothing. They are the only ones bringing in money. I will say that again. If you were to quantify the work that women do at home in monetary terms, think about if you had to pay for a cook, she does the cooking. If you had to pay a cleaner, she does the cleaning. If you had to pay a nanny to care for the children, if you had to pay her for doing all the groceries and all the things that women do at home as stay-at-home moms, it will beat your salary in 10 times, 10 times. Because all of that, they do it, all they need sometimes is just to be appreciated. Just appreciate them that you're doing a great job. Sometimes when you even tell somebody, thank you for the good work you're doing, no matter how hard the work is, they are at peace and they are happy because they know that you appreciate what they are doing. And so this idea about just being a stay-at-home mom is an erroneous idea. Women have a lot of work to do. They are the first to get up and they are the last to sleep. They don't even have a minute to take care of themselves because they are taking care of the well-being of everybody else. And sometimes they even forget themselves in the process. So all we are asking is to be recognized, to be given value for what you do, and not just be brushed aside. You're just a total consumer. No, the work that women do, if they were to quantify them in monetary terms, it would be a lot of money. And if the woman is not there at home doing all of those things, the man who goes to work will not even have a conducive environment to stay and to go to work and have a peace of mind to do their work well. So everybody contributes in their own way. Everything is not about bringing physical cash, but there's value that is sometimes more than a lot of money.
Mary, can I say something? And I like to also encourage other women to, as well as men, to change the terms that the way that you see yourself, your outlook, and your perspective. Sometimes the way you were raised is not healthy. It's a toxic thing that to make us women sometimes to feel that your only purpose is to take care of children or to support a husband or to do things for other people. And all while that is nice and good, but you're still a human being. You're still a woman. You still have feelings. You still have talents, and men too as well. You have talents and you have gifts and you take care of your family most likely. So you also need time separately. And that's one of the things that I really learned throughout this process. We a lot of times deny ourselves the ability to take a break, and you need to take a break sometimes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, just have some friends, even if you just go for a walk. But in any relationship, it should be healthy that you should be able to have your own time to do some things that you enjoy. If you don't have that, you need to reevaluate and set some boundaries. In the morning, the first 30 minutes of the day is mine to do what I please. And it's really important. It's really important for men as well as women. We train people how we are going to be treated. So if you constantly allow foolishness, that's what you're going to get. So I had to learn to stop. If people are toxic, always demanding things of you, you don't have to answer those phone calls. You don't have to answer those texts. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. You don't have to get up out of your bed and do anything for anybody. All of your time, all your effort, all your energy should be fed into doing things that love and support you. And if that's not the case, sometimes, unfortunately, we have to change our environment. And that's what it got to be to me. If it's not possible for the people who are around you to make changes and they're not respecting you, sometimes, unfortunately, we have to be strong enough to say, it's time for me to have a new environment. And I had no idea how that was going to.
I think you were right, Marlene. I don't know what happened to your to your microphone. You are right, but sometimes I don't really want to I don't want to think that people should stay in this mindset of where they were raised. It is true that we were raised in the context and we live in the context. We live in the specific societies with their cultures or with their own values. But for God's sake, we live today in a globalized world where people are traveling, people are learning a lot of things, people are unlearning the limiting beliefs that are keeping them backwards, people are learning new skills. It's much easier to learn today at the comfort of your home. You don't even need to go to a school to learn. You are in YouTube, Google any how to things, you will see a lot of how. If we stay in that frame of mind, that the way we were raised, there are many people who were raised by by their parents, their father was a drunkard, for example, and they say, I will never grow up to be a drunkard, because they are seeing the example of their father as something that they don't want to be. So it is not because you were raised in that environment that you will see the light and you decide not to follow the light because you want to remain there. We should be open minded, and that's why mindset is so important. Open your minds to learn new things and grow. It is always possible to learn new things and to grow. Like somebody, this question, but what if you, as a man, keep trying to encourage your lady to be the best version of herself, but she seems to keep pulling back instead? Yes, I know that sometimes you have, it's not a general rule. Sometimes you have women who don't want to do anything, but also it is it's not a day's job. It is not something that is automatic, or that you tell her once and she will do it. Some people, they are like like you say, like diesel cars. You need to really take time for them to start and to see value in what you're saying. And it's a continuous thing. Continue telling her, continue bringing proposals to her. And sometimes I can tell you, it is not easy for your spouse to propose something to you. Some people are like that. Get their friends to talk to them, or to take them to where other women are doing things, and let her join groups, healthy communities where they can help her to grow. So that's a very, very beautiful question. I really appreciate it. But there's a way out. Find help from her friends, in a subtle way, because it also depends on the way you tell her. It depends on the way you tell her. Some people will just tell you bluntly and say, oh, you good for nothing, do something with your life. So you have to tell her in a loving, kind way, explain to her so that she can see the advantages of doing something with herself. And then if she doesn't want to listen, get her friends to talk to her. Encourage her to join some communities where women do things, and just keep encouraging her. It's not easy, and it's not a one day thing. So my advice is, continue encouraging her, but also expose her to enabling environments where she can see that it is normal to 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 become a better person. So we are going to end the show in the next 2 minutes. I don't know whoever has anything else to say. And I want to thank you all for being here, for your contributions, and all of you who are going to listen to the replay. I really thank you. And I'm going to start live streaming in October. I'm going to make a video for that. But I really thank you, all my supporters, my followers. If there's any topic that you want us to discuss, or anything that you want me to talk about in particular, please leave them in the comments, and I would find a way to either bring experts to talk about them, because I have a group of friends who can really who can give you all the advice. They are available and willing to come and grace my community and give you all the advice that they can give. So if you have any particular topics that you want me to talk about, please leave them in the comments. And you all who have been encouraging me and supporting me, I can't do anything without you. Thank you so much. African Dreaming, Marlene, all my daughters, Niger daughter, and everybody who came to this live show. This is just the beginning of so many other live shows. I really crave your indulgence for the shortcomings. It's going to get better. I'm not waiting to be perfect. I'm going to progress in the process. Thank you so much, and you have a beautiful day with a beautiful night's rest wherever you are. I love you all. I greatly appreciate all your support. I don't take it for granted. Thank you. And find your gift. Do you find help? Become your best version. Nobody will do it for you. You have to be willing. Ask for help and you will get it. Thank you and take care. Stay safe.